I believe we are live. Let me just double check this. And yeah, we're on. And welcome everyone to round 7 of the RPL tier in SSR. Here we are in Hungary, and currently we've full quality, but as you can see, Dylan's out on the inters because there's only 15 grid tonight, so as long as everyone sets a lap, they should be fine. Zigstar is serving his quali ban so far, so nothing dramatic happened currently. But I'm trying to remember what happened last race. I believe last race was France, and it was a hectic one. I do remember Bradley, who's in the Mercedes currently, was involved in an incident where he may or may not have killed someone, but we'll skip past that. But I do believe Axe won that race, who will be in the Alpine this race. And that was followed by Payox in second. And I believe JG in third, who's in the Aston Martin. So Payox is also in the Aston Martin, so we'll see how them two fare. Currently, Payox is in the lead of the championship by quite some margin. In the SSR tier, the point system works a little differently. You get 50 points for a race win, and you also get 25 points for pole. And I don't remember the rest of the system, but basically that means that Payox currently sits in the lead with 403 points. And his next follower is Budweiser with 299 points, so Payox quite literally has a 100-point lead currently. And then that's followed by Monkey, who's 50 less points than Budweiser does, so Payox has a strong lead so far. Although, say Payox were to retire in quali and on track this race, and Budweiser were to get pole and win, then that gap would close. It's only 25 points, as Dylan has expertly spun at the final corner. But we'll see if there's anyone on good tyres on a lap. Halmy seems to be on a lap in the Ferrari. And so far Ritz in the chat has said Axe for the win, which in the Alpine will be a tough task, but he could pull it off. Unfortunately, we missed Division's 360 under the wall that he said he did. Oh, how am I trying to send it on Axe's AI? Oh, and that's something that I forgot to mention, is that they've added the new Red Bulls to the game, which I'm interested to know how long they stay for. as we see Craig do a lap on the wets. And if any of the racers are in the chat, do any of you know what the weather will be like for the race? Because you never know, they might need these wet tires in the actual race. Oh, big snap from Budweiser. For this qualifying session, you just want to make sure you survive, because you can't lose a position in Q1. Jeez, Budweiser. I don't know what's happening with Budweiser. Is this his setup for the race? Is he intentionally going, is he intentionally trying to drift? I don't know. But as this Q1 will work, is just everyone needs to set a lap and then can retire, and then was that Jed Adam? Just damages front end plate. It seems everyone seems to get a lot of damage in the session that doesn't matter. They just throw the car about very riskily. Oh, and Budweiser is retired. Well, that was not smart. Well, looks like he's gonna be starting from the back. Reapers, who is a new addition to SSR, I believe, is running no assists for the first time. So we'll see how this goes. He's a braver man than I, that's for sure. And we'll go on board with him to see what it's like with no assists. Well, he's definitely doing better than I would. On no assists, I would have been in the wall probably 30 times already. Oh, and speaking of, oh, Reapers is in the wall. Oh no. Oh, cut away, cut the cameras away, cut the cameras away. Well, it looks like Reapers and Budweiser will be at the back, even though Zigstar had a quali ban. They will be starting from the back due to crashing out in Q1. Which wasn't the smartest thing to do. But, you know, it's their life. Bradley, if you want to do a lap, I don't know. If he retires, I don't know if it doesn't count. Well, Division's retired so far without setting a lap, and I'm not sure if it counts or not. We will see. and thank you Zampa for the shout out. Much appreciated. And Bradley has waited until everyone else is retired to then start his out lap, which and thank you Reapers for following. Apologies to Reaper in the chat. Yeah. See, the thing is, I literally, no matter what I can do, I can't switch off Bradley, so Bradley's getting loads of screen time here. I can't switch to another driver in the pit, so there's nothing I can do. If I do the off-board view, then at least he's not in the camera as often. As in, there's times the camera pans away from Bradley, so we don't have to see him as pause menu. That's what we can do. Let's look at the race tractor, shall we? There we go. Let's look through the race tractor. Right, let's see what everyone's tires they went through Q1 on. Jed Adams tried the mediums, which means probably doesn't want to do the mediums in Q2, I'm guessing. Craig seems to be the only man on the wets, and a couple of drivers on the inters, couple of drivers on the softs, and as you can see, Budweiser and Reapers both DNF'd terminal damage, and then you can see several track limits violations. Bradley's still doing his lap, trying to figure out what else we can talk about. What else is there to discuss? Well, looks like Bradley's getting some screen time, because it seems I've run out of things to talk about. But if we go back to the race tractor, we can see Craig, fastest time out of all the people that went on the wets. What do you have for tea? I wanna know what everyone in the chat had for tea. Personally, I just ordered a burger and I'm running on a burger. So I want to know what everyone else had. Trying to count. Let's count out loud how many drivers did on the intermediates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 drivers on the inters in Q1. How exciting. Zampa also had a burger. Great to hear. So I'll try and look up what the strategy is for Hungary. I'm trying to remember. I believe when I raced Hungary, there may have been a safety car. Or where's strategies again? In the Discord. And that reminds me, I should probably just plug the Discord for anyone who doesn't know. Now, if Zampa's listening, could you put the Discord in the chat for any viewers that would like to join SSR potentially? I'll give Bradley some more screen time as he finally does his in-lap. Now, I would like to specify Bradley has the best car on the grid and it's did the slowest time. I just want to get that out there, you know what I mean? Just want everyone to know. To do what you will with that information. I think when I did Hungary, I did a soft hard, but you can do a soft, medium, soft apparently, which is the strategy. Personally, in this game, I seem to be the only person who doesn't like the mediums, whereas everyone else hates the hards, and I'm the opposite way. So let us know what tires you like. Personally, every race I've had with the mediums is just struggle city. And then if I'm on the hards, I've not really failed on them yet. They are there for me through thick and thin. Oh, Reapers in the chat has said that he was one of the early SSR people, basically racers. He was probably here way before I was, and it's nice to see him come back and race for us again. And Bradley is finally retired after wasting maybe like 8 minutes of everyone's time. Oh, right. So Savage Hammy with the fastest time of the 1:17.6 in Q1, but I don't really know if there was much or many serious laps throughout that session. And Reapers said life got a bit busy. Yeah, it's getting a bit busy for everyone now. Lockdown is we haven't seen it in a while. Everyone's going back to proper life again. And as you can see here, Budweiser and Reapers both retired, and we won't see them in the next two quality sessions. We will only see them whenever the race starts. Just get the tires up here, see what everyone goes into Q2. I'm interested to see, does anyone want to do a medium soft, because I feel like that's something like Payox is going to do or something. I don't know, that's my guess. Craig putting on the mediums, Dylan putting on the mediums, Billion on the mediums, Axe on the mediums. And first coming out of the garage is McLaren, I believe, of Jet Adam. And ahead of him is Hammy. So we'll stay with Hammy. And now that we're in Q2, these are the first proper laps that count. So we'll see who out of these 13 drivers currently here can make it into the top 10. Only 3 drivers can be eliminated from this session. And hopefully no one retires. Although at Hungary it is an easy place to do it. Tough track on the tires. It's one of those tracks where it feels like the tires at 100 degrees at all times. Reapers has said he's getting 2 DNFs. Well, we've tested it, and Division retired from that session, didn't set a lap, and has made it through to Q2, so I think in future no one really has to set a lap unless he doesn't have a setup. If anyone can clarify that with me, does he still have a setup? Because then there would be no real reason for people to go out and put laps in if you don't have a grid more than 15 and you're still doing full qualifying. But we're on board with Hammy as he's doing his lap, and he was the pole sitter in Q1. Ooh, almost invalidated. Keeps that front left just on track. Oh, and is invalid over there. I believe $10 whole in the Haas, which is definitely the worst car here today. So 10 will have an absolute battle trying to get a good position. And in Q1 we've seen best time I believe was a 17.6, but can't tell how well people are pushing, so we'll see. On a misjet Adam, 16.6, and then Dylan is to the 17.3 on the mediums. If we go back on 10, 18.5 in the Haas. Should be Kings across the line. Wasn't valid, so that lap didn't count. It should be Division next. 16.9. This seems to be a track for the McLaren so far. As JG rounds the final corner. An 18.1. Billion with an 18.7 on the mediums. Craig across the line on the mediums. An 18 dead almost. Halo should be apologies about that, the train was just going past outside my window, so I just muted my mic. Halo was invalid, so he couldn't set a good lap time. Don't believe that's Dylan again. Oh, that's just Hammy coming to the pits. Yeah, everyone's filtering into the pits now. I don't believe anyone's on a lap. Unless Halo is going in on another push lap, which he seems to be. And Bradley in the chat said hi. Hi Bradley, we were watching you for like 5 minutes because you'd left it so long. But I can't remember what my lap time around Hungary is. So I will try and find that out. But as Halo comes across the line, it's an 18.5 on those worn softs, so he'll need to definitely get some new tires in. I think Dylan might have improved on his time, and so did Craig on the mediums. I just missed that. I didn't expect everyone to be going for an extra push lap, but it seems Dylan and Craig have gone for that and have improved, I believe. Yeah, the McLaren seem to be far ahead, and I think Craig is trying to get through on the mediums. And as Zigstar has retired, there's really only, well, he's retired due to his quali ban. There's only two places that you would have to worry about. From elimination. So if Craig believes he's a good enough time, then he should be able to remain in the pits without having to do another lap. And the medium runner's strategy would definitely be a medium hard, or maybe even a medium soft, but like for me it would be a medium hard. But if you're better at me than at the game and you can stretch the mediums, if you can stretch the mediums that far, then a medium soft could be the way, although I don't know how you could stretch them that far. But and as we're on board with Division, we will see, can he beat Jet Adam, who's almost 4/10 ahead, currently sitting on pole. Ooh, and he does improve, but just not enough. He's equaling a 16.6. As Hammy has gone up to 4th. Ooh, and I believe we have an off, and that's JG. And I think he's just slowing for the people ahead. And I believe one to watch out for is definitely SLR Dylan, who has a very good time on those mediums. As Billion moves up into 3rd in the Alpine. And we're yet to see Bradley, Payox and Axe leave the pits to set their Q2 lap. And 10 is invalid, so I'm trying to find who could potentially be on a lap. Maybe Division could be going for an extra push lap. Keeps it valid still, although he's several seconds down on his lap, so I don't believe he's pushing for that to be his lap. Hammy's a second down, so he's definitely coming in the pits. 10's doing another lap in the Haas, which will definitely be the hardest to race so far. And Division's retired in the pits, believes that's the best he can do. Hammy as well is retired in the pits. Jed Adam retired in the pits. They all believe that's the best they can do and that they're safe currently. And Dylan's retired as well. So a lot of people at the top have retired, but they're seem to be not afraid of the drivers that are still yet to put a time in. I think the majority of people are maybe not worried about 10 as much as they need to be, simply because 10 is in the Haas and it's going to be quite tough for 10 to improve massively in the Haas, and he's at an 18.5 on the mediums, which probably will not see him out of Q2. But Halo's currently on a lap, and JG starting a lap, Payox starting a lap, so we'll stick with Halo. And Billion's retired, so that's our top 5 have retired, believing they're safe to go into Q3. And then we'll see the next 6, see if they can make it out of Q2. Halo in the Merc, we'll see how much he can improve on his time. And Halo goes 3rd with a 16.9. Oh, and I believe 10 might have had an off, and he did. And he's invalid. And I believe it's Payox across the line. No, JG should be, if he's doing another lap. But it seems he's coming in. So it should be Payox across the line next. Yet to settle up, is definitely committing to a medium hard by the looks of things, or a medium soft, as he's better at the game. I'm guessing it's a medium soft. And he moves up to 8th on the mediums. And Bradley will be across the line next, followed by his teammate Halo, if Halo wants to set another lap. And then Axe finally doing his out lap. Doesn't have a lot of time to complete the session, so he's leaving it very risky to the end. Bradley across the line in the Merc up to 6th with a 17.3. And that pushes 10, who's currently in the pits, and probably won't make it out. Although he's coming out of pits now, so it'll be very close. He's trying to go for a final lap. Axe on an out lap. King's on an in lap, seemingly. Unless he's doing another push lap. Ooh, and he's invalid, so it did seem like he was doing another push lap. And he's definitely have to slow the car down the whole way and try and get his ERS recharged if he does want to go for a final lap. And Bradley seems to be doing an in lap as well, so currently JG, who's retired, is already in the drop zone, and Kings is coming in the pit, so that will be his session. So we'll see if 10 can actually set a lap, and Axe will be starting his final lap. And these two drivers are the current drivers in the drop zone, and the two Aston Martins will be wary that either Axe or 10 could eliminate them from the session. As 10 comes around, will he get across the line? Oh, he just misses out. So 10 will definitely be eliminated. Now Axe on the mediums, can he stay in? So this pushes JG down into the drop zone, and Axe gets a bit of a tank slapper. But he's kept the lap going. Oh, and Axe has got the bit of traffic of Craig, I believe it is, up ahead. Hopefully Craig doesn't impede his lap at all, because Craig's completely safe. And Axe so far, despite having that little slip earlier on the lap, it does look a very clean lap. On these mediums, oh, the back end starting to go. That will have lost him some time. We'll see what he can do. Ooh, a 10th off, and Axe will start 11th, and he misses out in the top 10. If he didn't have that rear end kick out at the end there, probably would have had a chance into the got into the into Q3, but unlucky for him. And thank you, Ross, for the host as well. It's much appreciated. And that will be our top 10 as it sits. Currently the mediums qualifiers are Payox and Dylan, I believe, and Craig as well in the Red Bull. So them three will be loving life, potentially doing a medium soft if they can pull it off. I definitely couldn't pull it off, but they are definitely better than me, so we'll see if they can do it. And our best time so far is a 16.6 with both McLarens, so we'll see, can that time be beaten? And I'll be looking out for Dylan, Payox and Craig who were qualifying in the mediums that session, so I believe they could improve. Craig said he's not better than me. Well, Craig, if you do a medium soft here and you pull it off, you definitely are, like, because that's definitely something that I couldn't do. Like, I'd be doing medium hards if I was in this position, but it takes a certain skill to be able to look after your tires, and I just can't do it. But as we see Craig come out, I did mention earlier how he's in the new Red Bull, and I think I was in the middle of the thought, but I didn't finish it. And the thought was that I wonder how long the white Red Bull will be in the game, because it's a nice addition, but like, what if it's next week's race and you wanna race in the original Red Bull again? It doesn't really give you the option to choose which livery you want, which I'd rather to have the option. I think this Red Bull probably will be in the game for a month until the next big update comes out, when they add Jeddah to the game, because they've just added Imola to the game. And tomorrow SSR will be doing a social race at Imola, and I will definitely need to get my practice in there. And if you want to join that race, you can, if you join the Discord. And test yourself against the rest of the drivers. I believe there's still some spaces available. Craig seems to be really chucking it around, and see what he can do, because I believe the Red Bull is the best car on the grid currently. The Red Bull and the Merc are very similar performance, but I believe the Red Bull just slightly edges it, and I believe this circuit would benefit the Red Bull more than the Merc, because the Merc is more about engine power, whereas the Red Bull is more about downforce, and this is a heavy downforce track. And we see Craig do a 16.6, and Divisions did a 16.3, and Dylan's did a 15.9. Wow, that is a jump. That is a jump. I thought Division's 16.3 was a jump, and Jed Adams did a 16 dead. Oh my word. Massive jumps here in Q3. Jed Adams improved by 6/10. Division improved by 3/10. Dylan's improved by maybe over a second. And Billion sets a 17.1. As we see Pex come around in the Aston Martin, see what he can do. A 16.6. That is hilarious how a 16.6 is now 5th fastest. That's just showing how quick these drivers have become this session. As JG will be starting his lap next. JG, who on Sunday had a race in Tier 3 in Singapore and finished second after following Billy and Penguin, who currently sits in 6th for pretty much the entire race. Unfortunately couldn't get the move done, but I think he'll be looking to best his Tier 3 rival in this one. And as he comes round the final bend in that Aston, we'll see what he can do, and I believe he'll have the benefit of a tow from Bradley up ahead. Or no, that's Halo, as he does an 18 dead. And Hammy should be on a lap next. Does a purple first sector. Can't really tell if that's the truth or not, because apparently I've been watching streams before and I've declared someone has got a purple sector, and turns out the majority of the time the map lies, which is a great feature that the F1 game has added. And Hammy's gone for that wide, quite illegal line that is legal because the game allows it. And we'll see if we can benefit him as he comes around the final bend. It looks a quick lap. That's a 16.6 again. We've 3 drivers who are 2 100ths within each other, it seems to be. JG, I believe, has no front wing. Yeah, I seen him lose it as we were on board with Hammy, and I wanted to stay with the action, but yeah, JG has lost his front wing. As Bradley comes around on his first lap in the Merc, we'll see what he can do. Oh, and he's backed off his lap. And I believe Craig will be next out in lap, or maybe Dylan. Should be Craig. And we'll see if he can improve on a 16.6. And come to think of it, my lap time was at Hungary was pre-update, so even if I found where it was, it wouldn't be relevant because the cars act different to the update. And Craig does a 16.1, and I believe Dylan is piloted in the pits, so he will be completing his lap. JG exiting the pits, so it's the Haas of Bradley next, followed by Division, who's on an outlap. Billion's retired, as I've been choking on dust. Oh, he's lost it into the wall. Unfortunate for Billion. Thankfully he set a lap time though, so that lap time should will be his lap time. He should start P8 unless Halo or JG beats that time. And Division may or may not have got purple first sector. Oh, Bradley definitely chucking around. And Bradley peels into the pits, so it will be division that comes across the line next, and we should start to see all the drivers peeling out of the pits now to set their final laps as division does 16-1. And as Reaper said earlier, these McLarens look very fast. Why is JG setting a lap on the mediums? Can someone tell JG that the mediums only count in Q2 basically? I don't know. Anyway. Yep, division's on an in lap by the looks of things, so Kings will be next to start lap. Oh, when you hear the tires screeching under braking, as Payox has this car absolutely on the limit, and Division's retired in the pits. Bradley's retired in the pits. They both believe that's the best they can do in the session, and also the fact that there isn't enough time for them to go out as well. Jet Adam retired in the pits. Craig's across the line to start his next lap. Ooh, Kings had a lift off there to ensure to keep the lap valid. And there's almost half a second gap between Payox, Hammy, who are currently on a 16.6. Half a second gap between them and Craig, and JG's retired in the pits. Payox has jumped Hammy. As we see Halo come across the line next. Oh, he does a 16.1 and he's jumped up into 4th. Mega lap there, and we'll see Dylan, can he improve even further, and he'll be looking out to see if Craig can jump him, who's currently sitting in 5th but is in the best car. And Dylan does a 15.3. What? Craig improves. I don't know where he jumped up to, but Dylan did a 15.3. He did a 15.9, and you were thinking that was ridiculous, and he did a 15.3 in the Ferrari. Craig's jumped up into second with a 15.6. Oh my word. Craig into P2 with a 15.6. I still don't know what a good lap around here is, but Dylan and Craig's lap both seem unbelievable. We'll have a quick look through the race director. Wasn't really any incidents apart from Billion colliding with the wall, unfortunately. And Craig could have been starting down in 5th, maybe even 6th. Can't remember if Halo was ahead of him or not. But he's now moved up into P2. And Craig Chad is relieved from that mega lap he just put in. But we now have our starting order for the race. As my TV has died. What? Okay, that was odd. Well, you didn't see anything, but my TV randomly turned off. Anyway, I believe it is Budweiser and who was the other driver? It's Budweiser and someone else starting from the back due to crashing out in Q1. And then there's a star who's a quali ban who retired like he was supposed to in both sessions he was in. He starts 13th. And I believe it was Axe and 10 whole dollars who didn't get through to Q3, so they'll be starting 11th and 12th. And then you just seen your top 10 order there. And as we're on the formation lap, I will try and show up the calendars if I can, which should display on your screen now. As we go through the formation lap, runs you down through the calendars of Tier 1, Tier 2, and the RPL tier that you're currently watching. There's Reapers, that's who it was, who had crashed out, who is trying no assists. All luck to Reapers, being a brave soul, trying no assists for the first time. But we see our front row, Dylan and Craig, both on the mediums, and Payox down in 6th, also on the mediums, and our bottom 5 also on the mediums, whereas the rest of our runners are on the softs. But if you want to get your predictions in the chat for who you believe is going to win this race. I also want to hear in the chat if anyone knows, is a medium soft possible here? Because I'm very intrigued. And as you can see on the RPL calendar, it is Monaco next week. Everyone's super excited for that, especially Zampa. I'm quite buzzing for Monaco myself. Can't wait for all the action Monaco brings. Like Lance Stroll going over a sausage curb, for example. It's just terrific to see. And we will go back to the race format, so you don't have the calendars in your vision for the beginning of round 7 in Hungary for the RPL tier. And I'll see if there's a good camera angle. Usually after the thing loads in, yeah, you get a good angle. And we have 5 lights, and they're out. And it seems Dylan's got a lightning start away. Dylan looks to cover off Craig. Oh my word! Jed Adams completely wiped out. Yes, and Dylan spun. And there's mega. Oh my word! There's mega contact. There's a massive crash in a turn 1. There's a BSC already. That was unbelievable, unbelievable, unbelievable. Oh my word. Payox, Dylan, both absolutely killed. Dylan spun out of turn 1. Kings annihilated by Jet Al, move into the inside. Oh my word. I can already hear the report button being absolutely spammed. Get your emu moments in the chat, because I know I am. That was a hectic start. I can't tell what was more chaotic, that or real life where Bottas was late under braking, as well as Stroll. But we'll see. And we're back under green flag racing. And Jet's got the move on Craig, as Craig's been caught napping under the restart. And Division was looking around the inside as well. And Division might go for a move here. Oh, drifts a little wide, makes contact with Craig's wheel. But they've kept it going, as we see 10 and Dylan in the pits. Halo's retired from the session. I'm not sure if that was in the pits or not. If he did... Oh no, that was on track at the start that caused the VSC. There was so much damage you could barely tell what was happening. But Hamley's now pressuring Craig. And if I'm Craig here, I'm not worrying too much. I know I'm on the mediums. And I've just got to use the soft runners ahead of me to put the foot down. And Hamley, it seems, is constantly using that track extension that's legal. Oh, as Hamley's touched the rear end, that's caused everyone to go wide, avoiding him. And Hamley into the pits. But Hamley, too late under braking, touched the rear end of Craig, who has been struggling at the start of this race, it seems. But that has allowed a lot of people through, and it is giving Craig some respite. Hamley running to the back of him. As we are on board with JG, who is following Bradley, a fellow Tier 3 competitor in the Merc. And if we move up to the front, we can see Division closing on his fellow McLaren. Looking a sizable move, as the DRS should be enabled, although Division won't get the benefit of DRS. Oh, he will. Never mind, it's lap 4 now. I thought we were moving on to lap 3, because usually there's a telemetry glitch, but there actually wasn't a telemetry glitch this time. So Division did see the benefit of DRS there. And Hamley peels out of the pits behind his Ferrari teammate in this race. As Hungary just seems perfect for the McLarens by the looks of things, as they're currently sitting with a 1-2. And Division definitely applying the pressure on Jet. As we see Division make a move on Reapers. Reapers seems to be doing the entire race very cautiously with these no assists. As you would. Cannot blame him for taking it cautiously. Oh, is Billy and Penguin? Oh, he's just going in the pits. I think his softs might be gone. Oh, and that allows Bradley up the inside of Axe on the softs. Can he get the move done? We'll get the benefit of the DRS again. Axe seems to have the better traction though, but Bradley, with the power of the Mercedes engine, he sent Axe wide and he's gone for the switchback. Oh, Bradley's very close behind. Does back off. Decides the move isn't the one to go for. Axe's back end twitching a little. Oh, and Axe has had to cut that corner, which has allowed Bradley to close up close behind, and we'll have a quick look. Oh, Oh, as there's contact between the Ferrari and the Haas of Hammy and Zigstar. I seen Dylan go through, and the Zig made contact with Hammy. But we'll move back up to the front, where there's a battle for P4 between Bradley and Axe. And with the benefit of DRS and the Mercedes engine, Bradley should close up, although Axe has got a great exit, almost escaping DRS, but the power of the Mercedes engine will help Bradley stay within pretty comfortably. And JG was looking to get in this battle as well, but is struggling to keep up within the DRS division. Constantly hounding Jet, but Division already got a penalty, so that may hamper him later on in the race. But he's almost sniffing the gearbox of Jet at him. And if we go back down to the battle between the Ferraris and Hammy, was Dylan who was involved in that turn 1 collision on the opening lap, and Hammy who got too late on the brakes behind Craig. So both have had their incidents and they're both fighting now. Oh, and Hammy spun! Oh, unfortunate for Hammy. Oh, and he's DNF'd. He's retired on track. But Division still following along, and this battling has allowed Craig to slowly catch up on the mediums. The mediums starting to look like the better tyre than the softs. So far, Division hasn't been able to go for a move on Jet. Jet defending for his life, but Jet is defending well because he's forced a penalty out of Division, which may benefit Jet later on in the race. As we see Craig now within DRS, so these mediums really coming into stride. As we see Jet coming to the pits, and Division's been left out because he can't double stack, so Division's had to go an extra lap, which may not be what he wanted, as now Craig will look to close up to him, and Division may have to defend from Craig until he gets into the pits, as there's a yellow flag. Oh, and that Zigstar off the track. Doesn't look like he's any damage, fortunately. And Bradley's into the pits, out on the mediums. Craig within that 1 second gap, but I think Division will come into the pits this lap in order to not get undercut by Jet. So Division's probably pushing like hell to avoid the undercut, although they do have to be wary of Craig, who may be on a better strategy. But we do see Division peeling into the pits, which allows Craig into the lead of this race. And we'll keep an eye on where Division filters out. Will Jet Adam come out ahead of Division, or will Division, as we see Division still in the pits, so Jet Adams undercut Division beautifully there. Now nearly 2 seconds up the road. Jet Adam with a beautiful undercut. Meanwhile, Billion closing on Budweiser. Alpine against AlphaTauri. And it already seems divisions closed 4/10 within a lap up to Jet, so it doesn't seem like Jet's even going to get away from division for long, because on these fresh mediums division seems to still have the pace and might be within DRS range relatively shortly. This JG in for the hards. He'll look to go to the end on those. And division is within DRS now. Hard to tell if it's active. I don't think it is. Yep, the activation point is before the last corner, I believe. And division right up behind Jet, and he's going to want to get by him relatively shortly, because Jet has been holding him up the first couple laps, and now that division's on a new stint, he doesn't want to burn through these tyres trying to fight with his McLaren teammate. He's going to want to get past as early as possible and try and create a gap. But it's hard to tell if these mediums are going 25 laps. I would be shocked, but that might be what they're doing. As division sets his fastest lap, with the benefit of the tow from Jet, and he might get a move on this DRS straight, but his back end kicks out and he just doesn't get the exit required in order to close up to Jet and make the move. And we'll then move down the order to Bradley, who's now behind Billion. And Billion, who's been following Budweiser along for a number of laps. And back up to division again, who's really close to the back of Jet Adam. Jet holding on to that position for dear life, but Jet has the benefit currently of no penalties, and Jet will now have the benefit of the DRS from Kings to help him along. And if I know Kings will be looking to stretch these mediums for as long as possible to go onto the softs. But he'll now have pressure from both McLarens as Jet looks to size up a move, and it could be 3 wide into turn 1 here as Payox moves over. Oh, Payox has forced Jet off the track. Oh, they're both on the wall. Oh my word. Oh my god. Payox has forced both McLarens off track, and there's a full safety car out. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. 3 wide into turn 1 does not work, and both McLarens, who looked so strong today, are out. Oh my word. And I believe we have a second Emu moment on lap 12 already. Oh my word. Oh my word, that is unbelievable. Kings who it looked certain that both McLarens were going to get him there in the straight. I think moved over in front of Jet, forced him to the wall, and then is now coming to the pits for his stop, and Zigstar spun. That's a new place to spin. And Reapers as well, so Zigstar got very lucky there. Craig, if Zigstar didn't get round in time, he would have been lapped. So Zigstar, you need to make sure that the safety car doesn't lap you, otherwise your race at that point is pretty much over. And this is great for Reapers as well, in order to catch up with the pack again. But unbelievable scenes here in the RPL tier. And Zig's retired! Why is Zig retired? Why is Zig retired? Why is Zig retired? He is spun out of the chicane. How do you do that under safety car? And Dylan's going to 3-second under the safety car. What is happening, everyone? What is going on in this race? Absolute chaos into turn 1 on lap 1. And then on the main straight, McLarens and Payox involved. Both McLarens out. I'm just in shock and horror. Billion, for whatever reason, has decided to stay on 7-lap old mediums. I would have thought maybe going on a tyre that would last longer, maybe the mediums or the hards at this point. And we might see Dylan and Payox do that. And Bradley's 5 laps on these mediums is the next longest stint, so we'll see what Payox does. Payox on the mediums, Dylan on the mediums. And I believe they'll be going to the end on these. 21 laps sounds like something that a tier 1 driver could do. Probably not something I could do, but Dylan and Payox being way better at the game than I am, sounds like they could pull it off. But we're on lap 14, 5 drivers already deaded. And 10 left in this session with 21 laps to go. Or is it? Yeah, it is 21. I know math. But yeah. Shock and horror is the best way to describe what has just happened. Axe out on the softs. We'll look to clear Craig as much as possible, or as quickly as possible, and then probably shift on to the mediums, or maybe do a soft if he can. Hoping that as Reapers has still got to get caught up with the pack here, as the safety car's about to come in. I think he will. But he'll be pushing until he'll be pushing through the final corner in order to catch. He can see the final cars and will move on board with Craig as he does a restart and doesn't get too far away from Axe. Axe still 3/10 away, but not close enough to get the move as Kings goes for on Budweiser. Kings past Budweiser. Kings looking for a move on JG as well. Oh, and the AlphaTauri up the inside. The AlphaTauri of Budweiser. Contact with Dylan on the outside. Payox looks to get past JG, which he does. JG going wide, which might allow Dylan through. Dylan going for a move into chicane. Risky place to go for the move. Gets the move done. Now Budweiser closing up to JG. JG absolutely being hounded on this restart. But not close enough to the move. Axe goes for it on the inside of. Oh, contact! Big contact, and Axe might have damage. He doesn't somehow. Big contact there. Oh! Oh, they're side by side into the pits. What happened there? Bradley was into the pits and he was side by side with someone. As 10 following Kings and Bud. JG got through. Kings, big send. Bud looks for the switch. 10 might get a switch on the inside. 10's got good traction on these sauce. But stays around the outside. Budweiser just has the better car at the moment, so 10 can't get by. But I couldn't tell what happened there. Bradley was side by side with someone going into the pits. And Kings has fell back behind JG as Dylan's got through. And Dylan's up behind Billion. And Kings will probably look for the move on the main straight. Bradley seems to be not happy with Kings. Or maybe he is happy, maybe he's saying well done in not a sarcastic way, I don't know. Hard to tell tone through text. And we'll go on board with Dylan as he looks to size a move. Axe, almost 2 seconds to lead, looking to put down. Pace no sauce, and Dylan too far back to make a move on Billion. Kings too far back to make a move on JG. But might get him here on the inside. It does. Mediums just have far more traction. And Perks gets ahead of his Aston Martin teammate. And Dylan gets past Billion as well. And it'll be interesting to see what 10 can do on the softs, because yes, they're the softs, but he does have the softs on in the Haas, so it'll be tough for him to still get by anyone. As we go on board with 10, he's going to try and maximise his exit, and we'll get the benefit of DRS. But you can just see Budweiser's just got so much more pace, and 10 can't even close up to JG. And they're side by side. Bud should get the DRS again, which should allow him through. But JG's kept his foot in, and could still stick it. Budweiser gets better traction on the exit. They're still side by side here. JG gets a 3 second for good measure. Still side by side. They're holding this for so long. Budweiser on the inside. Looks to force JG out. Gets it. Gets the move done. What side by side action there. And the AlphaTauri Budweiser's gotten through. Oh, Reapers is, need to get Reapers back in. Right, Reapers, you should have another, oh, he's going in, that's annoying. Reapers, you should have another invite, and hopefully you should rejoin. Unfortunately, your AI has decided to go in the pits, so hopefully you intended to do that, but it doesn't look likely. Hopefully there's another safety car comes out for your sake, but not for these drivers' sakes. As we see Dylan start to close up to Craig, and Craig's going to want to look to hold on as long as possible, because I believe Dylan probably will be going to the end on these mediums, and Craig will be going to the end on these hards. So hopefully, oh, GG must have had a spin because 10's gotten through, and he's now 2 seconds down, so he must have spun somewhere. And oh, Dylan almost loses it. Oh, he's drifting through the final corner and he's spun. He's lost it completely. And that's allowed Billion and Payox through. Dylan lost it, just seemed to be wanting to be the drift king for some reason. But King's now up behind Billion. Benefit of DRS, but Billion should be able to hold a position. Payox doesn't seem to be close enough yet, but still possibly could get him on this straight where we've seen Dylan get Billion. But Billion holds it together, keeps position, and Dylan's going to want to now put the foot down to try and catch up to Craig again, because he lost a lot of time there with that spin. I'll try and send Reapers another invite, because it wouldn't let him join. Hopefully he can get back in. And Billion on those 14 lap old mediums will probably be going on mediums to the end now that he peels into the pits. And that releases Kings, who's now 6 seconds down the road from Craig. Where's that, 4 seconds? Yeah, it's 4 seconds down the road from Craig. And now he's going to catch up 4 seconds to try and get in. And 10. We'll see what tyres he goes on. I believe it'll be the mediums. Yeah, mediums on for 10. And this will be an interesting battle to see, is Dylan trying to catch up to Kings, who's also trying to catch up to Craig. So this will be the battle to keep an eye on. And they might be going for the race win, as Axe will need to pit again after pushing on these softs. Hopefully Axe has another fresh set of softs after he puts his laps down and comes into the pits. With Axe continuing, it does seem like he must have an extra pair of softs in. And Reapers is rejoined. Great to hear. And they've put him on the softs, and that's an awkward tyre to go to the end. Reapers, can you do 13 laps on the softs? That'll be definitely awkward. Your AI is kind of messed you up. As Dylan back end sliding, and he's really pushing to catch up to Kings. Dylan on the older tyres. And so far, Payox has caught up 7 tenths to Craig from when I mentioned it earlier. And Craig's slowly losing time to Axe. Axe will be wanting to get as far ahead as possible before going on to a new pair of softs. I think Axe might be wanting to pit lap 24, 25, and Peox, oh, he gets squirrely, and that's allowed Dylan through with the benefit of DRS. King's going to try and use the slipstream to get back ahead. And he goes for the switch, but Dylan will have DRS again. Activation point is before the final corner, and Dylan keeps it ahead. And this battle will continue going, and this battle is definitely helping Craig on the hards. It's allowing Craig to keep a gap to these medium runners who are battling, and they're using up the tyre, so if they were to catch Craig, then maybe they won't have enough tyre to use against Craig. Craig's all just to protect his tyre until the point they eventually do catch him. And Billion now on the back of JG. JG definitely going to the end of these hards. Billion on new mediums should have a relatively easy move on the 12 lap old hards. And oof, back end kicking out. As I mentioned before, we've seen these two battling in Singapore last Sunday in Tier 3, so this battle has continued into the RPL tier. And Billion now will look for a move, but just seems like he's too far back. Might size up a move into the next straight. DRS enabled. Following. Oh, he's moved a risky move to the inside. Sends that there's contact. We'll see where they filter out. Billion. Oh, JG almost loses it. Keeps it together. Just about. And Billion gets ahead. Oof. Could have been big contact there. Bradley close behind 10. Bradley with the help of the Merc catching up to the Haas, and Reapers has unfortunately dropped it again. I'll try and invite him back again. Hopefully he can get back in. I know what life is like with horrible Wi-Fi. Because I've had horrible Wi-Fi for a long time. My uni Wi-Fi have fixed the Wi-Fi like just this week, which is allowing me to stream this race for everyone. And so far the stream's had no issues other than the on-track issues we've seen. Bradley still falling behind 10. 10 with a better tyre on the mediums should be going to the end, as well as Bradley on the hards. Reapers is, I believe, rejoined, and his car is again going into the pits. Who knows? Axe finally in the pits. And he'll be going to the softs at the end. Oh, he's getting front wing changed as well. That's going to slow him down for sure. That might lose him a place or two. We'll see where Billion is. Billion might get out ahead of Axe. He will. And now Axe will have to clear Billion before he can start making a dent on top four's time. Haters is asking, does anyone know if they've changed the handling model again? So far, I'm not sure. I feel like the distance or it would be noticeable by now, but I haven't really noticed. And Bradley still behind. 10 unable to get the move. Axe now should get a relatively easy move with the softs on Billion here. Hater says that cars feel heavier to steer. They could do. Reaper says it is. Well, haters, you're better at me than the game. You're better at me at the game, so we'll take your word for it, because I'm not the one to judge. But Dylan now within DRS will look to pressure Craig, and Craig's going to want to look to defend this position as hard as possible. And Dylan's on 14 lap old mediums. That will be difficult to get the move done now. Craig's tyres should be in the stage where they're now becoming better than the mediums. The mediums probably start to fall off right about now. So as long as Craig keeps it tidy, he could keep it. But Dylan will be definitely looking to pressure him at every corner. And it seems Kings, after losing that position, Dylan has fallen off a bit, unable to catch on his mediums. Yep. Haters has said that's not his favourite track, but one he always gets good results. I'm in tier 1, Haters 1 here. So he's definitely quick around here. And Dylan looking for the move on Craig. Craig moves to the outside. Oh, and he goes wide, allowing Dylan through. Oh, there's contact! And Dylan's got through. Thankfully, no heavy contact. Both drivers have kept it on the track. And Bradley up behind 10 now. I think 10 has got the DRS off Reapers, who had disconnected and is unable to get back in again. And Dylan, now that he's cleared, Craig should be able to put laps down the mediums, but he does have 6 seconds of penalties, as well as King's having 6 seconds. JG has 6 seconds. 10 has 3 seconds, and Reapers has 9. And from here on out, we'll leave it a mystery on the penalty situations. So it'll be hard to tell who's actually won on track. at the end. But we'll go back on board with Bradley. As 10 gets a little bit of a snap, Bradley now pushing with the DRS and slipstream, should get the move done. 10 moves over to the inside. Bradley around the outside. Only gives 10 the space. DRS again. 10 gets the better traction on these mediums. 10's mediums haven't fell off the cliff yet, so they're just helping him through. Such a close battle here between 10 and Bradley. Bradley unable to get the move so far. Trying to force an error out of 10 to let him through. He'll be looking to size and move up again into the final corner. Trying to get the best exit. 10 gets another bit of a tank slapper, which will allow Bradley through. Help the DRS again. 10 goes over to the inside again. Bradley around the outside. Oh, he spins! He spins! He's in the wall! Oh, his front wing's completely gone. Oh my word. Oh, he spun and caught 10's back tyre. Oh, that's heartbreaking for Bradley. He will have to pit for a new wing, for sure. And Reaper says, brilliant commentary, thanks for the compliment, I will definitely take that. And unfortunate for Bradley. Very unfortunate. So close to 10 for many laps. 10 was giving him the space, but Bradley unfortunately lost the back end, spun into 10's back tyre. And we'll see what time Axe can make up on these softs. Can he catch Budweiser before the end? Budweiser on 18 lap old or hards, should I say. But so far your podium, as it looks, will be Dylan, Craig and Kings. But Kings has penalties and Budweiser is closing up, as these hards will definitely be better at the mediums at this point. Apparently I've been Reaper's race engineer the entire race, just letting him know what's happening throughout, which helped him secure P10 currently, but I think he has been unable to rejoin. Bit of a bug going on, but so far Bud maintaining that 2-second gap. It's closing down ever so slightly on Kings. If he can get inside DRS, it will close down rapidly, but it will be hard to do on hards this worn, although Kings ahead is on mediums that will be probably in even worse shape. And another battle to keep an eye out for will be Craig and Dylan. Dylan has penalties. These mediums really struggling. Oof. You can just see how he's taking every corner, how badly these mediums are struggling, and that's let Craig close up half a second in the space of a few corners. So Dylan's tyres really falling off a cliff. Oh, and Craig's already closed up a second just in that straight. Dylan really struggling on these mediums. Has he got a puncture? It doesn't look like he does, but he's just losing so much time. Craig on these hards is now able to push, and he's just catching so rapidly. I don't believe Dylan has a puncture. It just seems like these mediums are completely gone at this point. And Craig on the hards looking to push. Oh, and Bradley's left. I'll try and get Bradley back in. And Axe is now 3 seconds behind Bud on these 7 lap old softs, but at this point the softs will look to go, so... Oh, Axe has lost it! In the final corner. Oh, heartbreaking. And now we're on the final lap. On board with Dylan. As Craig is close behind. Might not get the move done on track, but with penalties, it'll definitely benefit Craig. Unfortunate for Axe there. Could have potentially closed up to Budweiser, seemed too far back, but... Kings on these mediums might get overtaken by Budweiser due to the penalties. And we will see. And as we come around the final corner, it will be Dylan on track that wins in the Ferrari, but with penalties, it'll push him down, and Craig should get the win. Moves up to first. Kings crosses the line next in P3, but Budweiser will jump him on penalties, so Bud up into third. And Axe, unfortunate spin on the last lap there, crosses the line in fifth. Bins it. I don't even know if that counts. I'm trying to see. Does Billion jump him? Oh my god, doesn't count. That's hilarious. So Axe binned it too early, and now it's going to say everyone finished ahead of him. Ah, yikes. Oh, 10. So, Budweiser, driver of the day, again. I think that might be the second week running. Axe DNF before the line, and it's pushing down the order. I haven't seen that one before. Craig tossing out the copies of the new F1 game. I have not seen that celebration before. That is a new one. That is definitely a new one. And it's a win for Craig in the Red Bull, followed by Dylan in the Ferrari. Next for Budweiser in the AlphaTauri, and I'll see if I can invite these guys to the party. For interviews. And Budweiser, who was started 14th, made his way up to the podium. And Budweiser went from 14th to 3rd. Impressive drive. And haters have said, "Let's go, Craig," in the chat. He's happy for you, Craig.
Yeah. Good race,
And
Craig. Thanks, man. Oh, I'm sweating again.
Everyone, as you come in, make sure to tick the box. And whose house is flooded?
I don't know that he's flooded again.
Oh, sweating
Oh,
again.
sweat. Oh,
God,
there's
it's
so
sweating.
much
Yeah.
sweat that he flooded the house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like horrible.
yeah.
Hey, that's what happens when you drive. You gotta sweat.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And I think we'll start the interview with our driver of the day and the man who finished in P3. Boys, how'd that race go for you?
Pretty crazy. Yeah, qualifying I'm never good at. And then I just fought, and then I tried to make a move. Made some pretty good moves early. Up like 6 spots.
Yep, it was a very impressive drive and jumped kings there at the end on penalties, which is definitely helping you out in the championship.
Yeah, I just gotta get
And
better, and hopefully I can chase some points. Just starting to run away.
mhm. And
But,
unfortunately, we couldn't get Dylan the party, so then we'll just move on to the race winner, Craig. How'd that race go for you, Craig?
It was awesome, fun. Oh my God, first win of the season, so pretty on that. But beat up in the beginning, man. Like I don't know what happened behind me, but oh my God, I did like a mega power slide, and I don't know, chaos. So anyway, but yeah, it was a good race, dude. It was fun.
Terrific race, and I guess you were racing, I didn't say, but there's absolute anarchy in lap one. You'll definitely both want to watch the lap one.
Oh my God.
Chaos.
Oh.
Pretty much a recreation of RL Hungary occurred. So you'll watch that back. But I believe that's us from round 7 here. RPL here with SSR. And, I want to thank you all for watching. And
Alright, man.
see you guys later.
have a good one. Good, Greg.
Thanks, man.